Kia ora tātou. Ko mata whaura te maunga ko hau te awa ko ngā tipiki ao te iwi. Ko Laures Park hau. Ko au te matua takawainga I roto I NZI te uroa. Nau mai, haro mai ki tēnei kōrero. Anei, tētahi tauira, tētahi mokopuna a mātou, hei kōrero mā tātou katoa. Let me introduce Eleanor. Eleanor is a student from the United Kingdom, and she's here to ask questions of me.
Why must Native and Indigenous voices be at the forefront when we talk about the climate, the environment, and protecting the earth?
Kia ora mo tērā, Eleanor. For Native and Indigenous people, everyone who is in that situation are the people that are affected by climate change in the first instance. When we talk about climate change in our organisation, we talk about mātauranga Māui. Mātauranga is knowledge, and Māui is one of our ancestors. Now, we talk about Māui as being the original climate change advocate. He was the person that chased the sun when the sun wouldn't stop and let our people do their tasks over the day. He captured the sun and then negotiated to actually get the sun to slow down. He was also the person that looked for fire so that fire could be used by our people as well. So Māui is our person who is the advocate for climate change. In every single Native and Indigenous person in the world, they will have stories like that. They will have stories that are intertwined with the land, the sea, the forest, and the people. And that is why it is crucial that Indigenous and Native peoples have that opportunity to have that kōrero in the first instance. They have solutions, and that's the issue which we would like to put to the fore in the first place.
Young people are organising around the world trying to make sure that we have a future. So what can we learn from our ancestors?
I think the first thing you could learn, Eleanor, is what not to do. And for a lot of our ancestors, some of the things that they did and have always done have been put us in the situation that we're in now. When we're talking about kaitiakitanga for us as Native and Indigenous peoples, kaitiakitanga is being a guardian. And if you're a guardian, you have a responsibility to look after the land that you live on, the sea that you actually take your food from, the forest that you gather your food from. So those things that are intertwined in our lives are the reasons why we need to take up those solutions, be they ever so small, from Native and Indigenous peoples, so they can add to the data that we have that will change the climate.
What do you think it is that students could gain if they were taught about the climate crisis within their school?
I think the first thing we should do when we're talking about climate change is, as the elders or the ancestors, to actually stop building that climate of fear, because actually we have got our young people to the stage where they're fearful of anything to do with climate change. So we need to be thinking quite carefully about what we do into the future. Yes, teach it in schools. Yes, teach the things that are available in our local communities, because we have lots of things that we do already that can be perpetuated into and used by other people. But unless we do something like that, start small and then go on to the next thing that we're going to do. Yes, teach it in schools. Teach it in every place that we possibly can to change people's views about the land, the sea, the forest, and the people.
Thank you for having this conversation with me today. As part of my campaigning, I've always found it really vital to talk with different stakeholders such as teachers and students from elsewhere, and to engage with members of the community And so it's thanks to this and all the other conversations I've had with other people out there that the campaigns that I'm part of and people around the world are part of can really progress.
Tēnā koe, Eleanor. Thank you very much for your comments and for the invitation to answer the questions that you put to me. It is important for all students actually to be listening very, very carefully to your kōrero, because it's not only you and me, it's everyone in the world that needs to be involved in this. So ngā mihi kia koe. Kia kaha koe ki te āwhina I tēnei kaupapa I roto I a koe.